this is such an exciting the second series to talk to you about because I really like the how they managed to recreate that period and even the way people speak. Talk me through your characters in this season. Firstly, Mindy.
Oh, well, I think Anne has such a delightful trajectory in the series because she sort of, instead of just reporting on things, she gets involved and inserts herself into the business of. And I think it's so fun. And I think hopefully the audience will go right along with her and kind of seeing the other side of these ladies' lives and immersing herself in it. So that's been, and that was the best part for me about character's arc.
Yeah. What about you, Amber? What is so different about your character in this second series that we didn't see from her in the first series, season?
There's a lot of things that are different about Virginia this season. I can't say too much. I don't want to give it away, but there's a sense of discovery for her. There's a sense of authenticity of just being who she is, but she's also learning how to, in a sense, play with others, if that makes any sense. Having more empathy for the people around her. She builds this bond with Anne. She also builds a deeper bond with Maxine this season, which I think is it's going to be fun for the audience to see. But you get to see her struggle with, how much do I want to reveal? And will this be beneficial for me or not? And at some point, Anne kind of wins her over.
I mentioned the way in which people speak, specifically the women in this kind of high society around that time. And was there much sort of, did you have any like voice coaches that sort of showed you the way those people were expected to behave or how they wore their clothes or how they spoke to each other? Really, maybe.
Yeah, we didn't have any, formal people dictating that, but I have to say, just doing our own research and the clothes and the formality, as it were, of that time, right? Of that decade, really. And it's so fascinating because we're right at the cusp where the 70s take over and everybody kind of loosens up. So we're still, right? That hasn't happened yet. And I love that you have a comment about that because it is so fascinating. They're still very formal. And that,
Right.
and yes, and there's something delicious to play with that.
Okay, I'll ask you the same question, but also in your case, you're playing a person of color who would have, around that time, it would have been very difficult for someone to hold that kind of job around in the sort of late 60s, early
Yeah.
70s. How did you approach that character?
For me, I really, because it's not too far from the generation of that my grandmother grew up in, and my mother was born in 56. So tapping into their aura and who they were, and I'm from the South myself. I was raised in the South. My whole family is from the South. Seeing how they move in today's age and how I grew up really did inform me how it was back then. The things that they held dear, the just the euphemisms, the things that they knew. It was just kind of like a social thing, what to do, what not to do, where to go, where not to go, where to frequent, where not to frequent in the South is really important where I'm from. And so tapping into that, but also doing research on people like Audre Lorde and Billie Holiday, Angela Davis, women who were revolutionaries at that time, really did help me shape who Virginia was, because she's a fish out of water in this place. There's not a lot of people that look like her, and she's surrounded by people who may prejudge her based on just the color of her skin. So what does that look like, being in an environment like that where you're almost practically alone, and learning to trust the people around you was a very interesting discovery for me personally and for Virginia.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for your time. Again, I just absolutely love the tone of this series. I just love everything about it, the way it looks and the way women interact with each other. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!